What up, Cappy crew? It's me, Cappy. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about OP-07 Jewelry Bonney. Not the yellow Jewelry Bonney, not the yellow-red Jewelry Bonney, El Clasico green. And this list is one that I found that was successful in the East, and I decided I want to try it for myself. Normally, I am one of those kind of guys who likes to build their own list, and I'll experiment and try a bunch of different random cards, and I have done that with this leader in the past, but something was just not clicking for me with Jewelry Bonney. Jewelry Bonney is just not my play style, so I decided to look up this list and just give it a go in ranked and see how we did. And I mean, it slaps, actually. There's a reason why Jewelry Bonney has stayed meta relevant for so long, and it's because she can do a lot of really cool things. And her leader ability is kind of cracked. If you want to skip to those games, there is a link down below. Otherwise, we're going to jump into this deck profile, explain some of the key pieces, and then we'll see you on the other side. So, Jewelry Bonney, what does she do? When an opponent attacks once per turn, you can rest a Dawn, and then you can rest up to one of your leader's opponents, or one of your opponent's leaders or characters, which is absolutely insane. Just for resting one Dawn, you can make sure that you can get out of attack. Maybe you can rest one of their blockers to make sure you can swing in on the next turn. It has so much utility. It is so strong, and I really think that is why she is still one of the top dogs. Now let's jump into the support cards. First, we got some 2K counters. We got our Scratch Mana Poo. We got our Jewelry Bonney searchers, the like rest sideways searchers. We got Kid Killer, which are also supernova searchers. And Kid Killer is really, really important too, because it allows you to play some things on curve and still use your leader ability using the on opponent's attack. You may trash this character and set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. This is really good. For instance, say you go on, I was trying to go on the odd curve, so maybe I play out a Carrot or a Perona on the odd curve, which don't restand Dawn. If I have Kid and Killer on the field, I can trash Kid and Killer when they attack, set up a Dawn card as active, and then use my leader ability. Super strong. Next, I mean, Tashigi, obvious 2K. We're running just, I guess, one of these. This never really came up, but it's a searchable 2K and like an emergency blocker. I don't think that you really need to run a bunch of these. This list didn't, and I didn't feel bad for not having it. For Cav, for Karat, for I tried to say Karat, but then I just didn't commit. 4 of the secret Jewelry Bonnies, and I love this card because this is another one of those cards where kind of towards the end of the game you can slam it down and, oh no, I don't have any Dawn left. Yes, but if you activate your on play, you get a set of Dawn card as active. So very, very cool. That sets up your leader ability perfectly. Now for some of the OP-14 spice. This is the only OP-14 card in this Eastern deck list, but it's just so good. Okay, it's the Perona, the 5-cost 6K 1K counter with the on play. Up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that means if you play this out, they can't attack, and they can't block, and they can't use like activate means that force them to rest. It is nutty. Then on KO, you can just rest one of your cards, a card, and then play 1 green character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. And we run quite a few of those, like Bonney, Carrot, Cav, Tashigi. We have so many good options. X-Drake. So yeah, I mean, this list was running 3, but I can see the argument to bumping this up to a 4 of for sure. Next we got X-Drake, 2K that rests some stuff and then sets a Dawn card as active. So it's a pretty solid one, but it's not necessarily one you want to play out, but it is like supernova searchable, so whatever. Trafalgar Law, this is the 6 cost bounce law with that has blocker. and it's really solid too, because a lot of times you can play out Scratch Man a Poo, you can bounce Scratch Man with the Law, then play out like a Bonney or a Carrot. So that's really solid. Oh, there goes the carrots. Accidentally click the button. Whoops a daisy. Here we go. Let's just add them back in real fast. Okay. Then we have 2 copies of Hody Jones. And honestly, this could have probably been a Dead Man's Game. Like 2 copies of Dead Man's Game might have been better. Just throwing that out there. No, I mean, Hody is really good, but this list runs 0 events, which is crazy to me. It felt weird because I'm always used to running events, but this is a winning list. They won a tournament with this thing, so hey, let's go. Next, this is kind of interesting to me, but they played 4 Dracula Mihawk. 4 Mihawks, and it's like, the heck? But, I mean, with the restand... this is really good, especially if you're going on the odd curve. You can play out Mihawk, then you still have that 1 Dawn left over, and then you restand 4, so you have 5 Dawn. Then you can play out one of your 5 Dawn plays, like your Perona, your Jewelry Bonney, your Carrot. So I actually like the Mihawk in this deck. It didn't feel like too slow. Because we just get so much value out of our 5 costs. I've always felt like at least a solid play. Next, the 9 cost KO Shanks, 4 Dofis. This could probably go down too, and then just 1 Lon Beppo. And Lon Beppo never really came up, but he's probably still pretty good for like ace matchup, things like that. So this is the list. Let's just jump into some games. All right, so our first match is versus a Foxy. Now, this is pre-recorded footage because I just wanted to try something different. And this is all ranked games too, so I kind of wanted to focus instead of just saying every single thought that I had out loud. And so that's why we're doing it this way. As you can see, we didn't have a super great first turn. We did get they dropped down something, ramped. We searched the Kitten Killer, found the Jewelry Bonney, the Secret Bonney, and now we're kind of waiting on them to pick something. And unfortunately, they didn't actually have a board because they have the Groggy Monsters, but it's unable to KO anything. So we're going to play Cavendish and restand 2 Dawn and swing in for 6 because I wanted to keep that 1 Dawn up. Now, that might have been a misplay actually, because I could have swung in for 7 and then use the Kitten Killer to do the restand Dawn in case they swing. They play out the Foxy and then basically just swing in and they pass. And now I'm kind of deciding what to do here. I decided to just frick it. We got a bunch of life. Let's just go in with, we'll go in with Hody Jones. So we'll go 7. No, and I'm sorry. We go 9. And they go ahead and counter out and then they take the life there. So I think that was the right call. Maybe I could have gone 2 7s, but since they got out of the 9 anyway, same result basically. And then they drop the Porsche and the Tony Chopper, swing into Cav, and then freeze my leader and my everybody. So I trashed the Kitten Killer because I want to be able to swing into Foxy, and so we just moved Foxy sideways and say heck it. And then they decide to go into Cavendish. Here we're at our 9 Dawn turn. Unfortunately, we didn't have the Shanks that could just play down and pop the Foxy, so we go extremely defensive, play out a Mihawk, play out that 4-cost blocker Zoro, and then pass the turn. Here, they're going to swing it for 5. We're just going to, I think we take this one. No. Okay, we counter out. And counter again, and then give him a 2K. But I really wanted to make sure that I can swing into a Foxy because that guy sucks. Instead, I decided to just play out Dofi and have a very passive turn. We can't, if we're frozen, you're frozen. All right, that's how it goes. And since the Foxy is frozen, they can't win attacking ability, so that's pretty great for us. Here we give the Tashiki because they're not playing like a lot of removal. to get out of that swing there, and then they're gonna go into it again. But we got X-Drake too, so we can just counter out. We just counter out, no big deal, and then we're fine everything that we want. We drop the King Killer, pick up an X-Drake, and then we decide to go pretty wide. I want to swing into board because that Foxy needs to die, so we're gonna go 9 into 7. And they Thunder Bagua and then turn my Dofi sideways, but that's not a big deal because I got Hody Jones. I guess we can go 7 into 7, right? And they counter out of that too. And so I'm thinking, yeah, I guess I'll just go 7 into 7 again and ask for the chopper, because then next turn I guess I can do it all over again. We go ahead and search a little bit more with another Kid Killer, pick up a Cavendish, and then pass the turn. And unfortunately, they play the Groggy Monsters KOing the Kid Killer, so it's actually impossible for me to restand a Dawn now to turn something sideways. So the Cavendish we found, I'm just going to give it up. And here, I think I do give up the X-Drake as well. Yeah, I do. Because since Foxy is like 7, I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just block with Zoro, and nothing else can swing into it. It's not tall enough. We draw into the Mihawk, and we just decide to go freaking 11 into Foxy. I cannot stand that character. That character sucks. It makes my brain hurt. I always swing into things the wrong way because it's it just messes with my math. My math is all screwed up. Here I'm like, frick you. We're gonna swing into Foxy again. I don't care if you take everything I have. This is what we're doing. And we did get that Shanks out of life, and we'll just block with the Mihawk this time. So we play the Shanks and kill that mother hecker. Frick yeah. And then we just pass. Because I want to keep the Mihawk up. I'd like to keep it if possible. And having 3 life, I felt really like I was in a good place. We have 2 massive bodies on the board, plus the Mihawk. I'm not super worried about it. We will go ahead and turn one of these Groggy Monsters sideways, and then we just I think I don't know if I meant to do that. Whatever. We decided to drop down all the way to 0 life, but I'm not worried at all because I got some big bodies on the board, and I got enough Dawn that I can just play out 2 more blockers and swing in with Shanks. We're gonna swing into a Groggy Monsters, and oh, I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling good. The reason I swung in with that Mihawk there, let me pause really quickly. The reason why I swung in with the Mihawk there is because I can either eliminate a swing now by killing that character, or I eliminate a swing later by blocking for it. And if I think I can kill it, then that is the ideal play. One, because now it gives them something else to think about. Maybe I have to swing into this. But if they do swing into it, no harm, no foul. Like, and that is actually 2 extra swings that I got out of instead of just 1 by attacking and killing something instead of blocking. So that's why we swung in with Mihawk. Plus we had 2 other blockers and our leader ability. So I only had to worry about 2 swings. And basically no matter what, unless they had some sort of rush character, which they don't. Now, they do go ahead and rest my Mihawk somehow, probably with that. Hold on, let's go back there. Yeah. Oh, I was smart. Yeah. If your leader has a Foxy Pirates, draw 2, trash 1, and then rest one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 9 or less. That's the new Foxy from EBO4, so they play that out. Rest the Mihawk, but it's not a big deal because I got enough counter in hand, and I have my leader ability still. So here, I think I just give him a carrot. I want to keep the jewelry bodies in case I need them. Do that, and then boom. And after that, they were done. They go ahead and surrender. They have a couple of counters in their hand, but I have a absolutely gigantic board. There is no amount of counter they could have pulled that would save them from a Shanks Mihawk jewelry Bonney swing. So good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so here we are playing up against a Tony Chopper, And I go ahead and just drop the Jewelry Bonney and say pass. Chopper passes it back to me. I find the law, and then we're going to swing in 6 for 5, and I'm going to keep 1 up. And I don't think that was the right call. I think I should have gone 7, but he took it anyway, so it wasn't too bad. It's just an inaccuracy instead of a misplay. But I should have swung 7 there because he didn't have any characters on the board. So what's the point of leaving my leader ability up? And that's the kind of stuff that you kind of have to think about. I go ahead and play the carrot and freeze the Tony Chopper that they cheated out with the book chopper. And I don't have any Dawn up, but I know that I'll be able to freeze stuff with carrot. It's not going to be a big deal. I have lots of plays for my next turn. Next turn, I'm thinking like you can scratch me in a poo, play the law, then cheat out another carrot, which is absolutely just giga busted. Yeah, so here I'm just kind of waiting for them to search. They find that rare chopper and just swing in 6 to 5. I give them to Shigi because they're not playing any removal. Tashigi is really good against removal, but not great just like in general. So here I'm kind of deciding what to do. I decided to go ahead and swing into that chopper and freeze book chopper so that book chopper cannot search when attacking. If it's frozen, it can't attack. And I swung into that 4K chopper instead of the 3K because I had a feeling that I was swinging 2K over, so it wouldn't be a big deal. Here we go ahead and play a searcher out, and we find the Jewelry Bonney. But I think the better play, honestly, so I set up, I play out Scratch Man and Pooh just to set up law. The better play would have not been to search. It would have been to just play out. But the problem was I swung 6 with the Bonney. I should have just swung 5, and then I play out like Scratch Man and Pooh, play out this law, play out the carrot. But also too, there wasn't another thing sideways either. So maybe just I could have just held out on the carrot, and maybe that was my mindset there too. To do so, they think long and hard and decide to swing in 11 into 6 against my carrot. They hate carrot. They want carrot dead. I use my leader ability on the leader, and just say heck it, you can have the rest here. It's not that big of a deal to me. And then here we finally do play out the law carrot combo, bouncing back the Scratch Man, and then we go 7 into lead. They dead man's game to get out of it, and I got 1 Dawn standing to turn something sideways again. They again go 11 into carrot, which makes me upset. I am just like, gosh, can you please just leave my carrots freaking alone? But they can't because they just want that bunny. They want that bunny. Here we counter out with Scratch Man, and they play an Odyssey Chopper, and now 3 of their units can just restand every friggin' time, and that was quite annoying. I think for a second about playing Lon Beppo, but decide against it, and want to go for the double blocker trash like combo here. Here we're gonna go 5 into 5, and I'm hoping for some sort of event. Unfortunately, they block her up with that event. And so when I go 7 into 5, they then just go into the blocker. And now they can book chopper again, which sucks. I hate book chopper. They play Nami and find the ST-21 Sanji that makes something unblockable. So I always have to think about that. I have 3 blockers on the field right now, but if it's unblockable, don't make no sense. And they go ahead and find another EBO2 chopper. I use my leader ability on the leader once more. It doesn't really matter. Counter out of the Odyssey chopper, and then these 2 Zoros just swing into my face. I take 1, and then they decide not to swing into with the next one, which is kind of interesting, but the Mihawk could just block anyway, and I think that's what they thought is maybe just leave the 2 Dawn up instead of swing with it instead. So I play out Cab, and then I play out another Secret Bonney, and we go again, 7 into the book. Freaking hate that guy. And I'm thinking about swinging into Book Chopper, and I decide to do it with the Mihawk. Because to get over Mihawk is still a way bigger Dawn investment, and I have some counter in hand. I still have 2 other blockers on the field. I'm feeling pretty good. They decide to deadman's game and then start swinging. They attach 3 Dons to the Odyssey Chopper and swing it for 7. I just do ye old faithful and rest Chopper the leader and then counter out of 1, and then I take the next 2. And now we have Law and Beppo. We have a couple Cavendishes. I decide to play out Law and Beppo, and unfortunately, we don't get the going to 7k there. And the reason is because they don't have another rested character. Everything was active. So that sucks. But we do end up clearing at least one of the restand Zoros. And we have 3 blockers on the field and leader ability. We're still in a very, very safe spot here. So I'm not super worried. They decide to go crazy. And this is an interesting, I think this was a misplay. I don't know why you would do this like now to go 11 unblockable at my leader, unless you're just trying to pull cards out of my hand, but I have another life left. So now I'm looking at the field here. I'm like, okay, you have 1 swing with Odyssey Chopper for 5k. And then you have like 1 swing with leader for 6, but I'm just gonna rest one of these. So I don't know about this. I think maybe even just swinging into Cavendish might have been better, but also too, maybe they just didn't have any other plays. They just didn't have any other plays. We pulled the Perona out of life, and I'm looking at my board. I'm like, frick, I got game. We just got to stack the Dawn efficiently. I want to make sure that we are smart with what we're doing. We decided to start off with 7, and they 2k, 1k, and so I'm like, heck it, why not? Let's just go some more here. I'm still trying to figure out some Dawn. I'm like, I think I can go 9, and then 8, and then 9, and then 8, and then like 11, and they go ahead and quit out there after that last one. I want to see what they had in their hand at the end, but because they quit out really quickly. So yeah, they had Dr. Hurluck. They had this Gum Gum move, but they didn't have anything. They didn't have enough. But good game to my opponent. Well played. On to the next one. All right, so next up, we are going up against a black-yellow Gecko Moria. I'm playing the Green Jewelry Bonney, and we decided to just go first, play out Jewelry Bonney, and pass the turn. So they get 2 Lilith Searchers off, find a Boa Hancock, the like a big SR from OP-14, and then a Kumansi. We decide to go ahead and just search. We find another secret Bonney, and then we play out. I think, yeah, we just swing 5 here. And because I wanted to do that before I play out Kin Killer, just in case something were to happen with him with some funky trigger. We find a Cavendish, and we pass the turn. Here, they're going to swing into the little Jewelry Bonney, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. But first, we're going to swing into life. We just decide to take it. It's the first hit. We're just going to take this too. Not a big deal. And then they play out Dr. Hogback and pass the turn. So we're at our 5 Dawn turn. I'm going to swing in with the Kin Killer because I'm going to trash him soon anyway. It's not that big of a deal, probably on this turn, because I want to play out like something here. And here, I seriously think that I could have gone 7 again instead of 5, because I would have been able to trash the Kin Killer. Luckily, again, it was just an inaccuracy. They take there, so no harm, no foul. But I think I probably should have just swung 7 there and asked for more cards in hand than what was required. So here they think for quite some time, and then they decide to go in, and they're going to trash 3 out of their hand to heal. Right, they do. So they're trying to fill up that trash so they can have stuff in the trash to then play out. Very, very smart. And so they swing in with Dr. Hogback, and I think I try to counter there, but I accidentally like misclick and take the damage. I don't think I meant to take a 5 hit, but we did, so whatever. They make it so that Cavendish can't attack with the Perona, and then they KO a Hogback somehow and play out a Kikinojo instead. So lots of stuff going on there. They have a full friggin' board, but you know what? I ain't scared. I'm freaking Jewelry Bonney. I can do what I want. I'm gonna go ahead and swing, because my idea is to play back the Cavendish, pull back Cavendish for free, and then just play out the carrot. So we play out this, we play out carrot to freeze Perona, and then pass the turn. And I have one Don still standing to use my leader ability. So you're taking a little bit to think here, but we have so much counter in hand. We have 3 2Ks, 3 1Ks, another blocker, and a Hody Jones. That's pretty freaking good. And they KO the Perona to make it so that my carrot can't attack, and they boost their whole board by 1K power. Here, I'm like, I just don't want to go down to 2 life. So, frick it. We'll use leader ability on Gecko Moria and counter out of this other Gecko Moria. The reason we want to use leader ability on the leader Gecko Moria just about every time, because his heal ability is a when attacking ability. It is not an activate main, it's a when attacking. So, whenever he attacks, he can heal. But if he can't ever attack, if he's rested, then he can't heal. That's the big brain. That's the big brain coming in. So we play out Mihawk into the Jewelry Bonney once more, restand a Don, and we swing in 5 against lead. Now, because Moria can just kind of cheat out a board like crazy, I think it might be better just in general to just go hard in the paint and just swing lead almost every single time, because he is just that, like, he can just cheat out so much stuff. He's gonna have a full board. I think Electric Luna might be pretty good in this matchup, but we weren't running it because we had no events. What the frick? That's crazy work. But hey, it was working. So they play out the 9-cost Hancock. They heal. They make us take a life into our hand. And here I'm like, yeah, I'm not letting you heal more. I ain't letting you heal more. So turn that guy freaking sideways, and we will just give you 2 2Ks, because I don't feel like I'm going to need to play out X-Drake. I don't feel like I'm going to need to play out Tashigi this match. And then they decide to pass. I think it's because I could have blocked each one of their attacks, so they didn't want to turn them sideways. But I don't know if that was the right call, because like I could have blocked Hogback with Jewelry Bonney and Kikinojo with Mihawk. But they decided to keep them standing upright. Now we play out the heat. I'm like, oh shoot. I'm going to go ahead and swing in a few more times. And we get lucky with the triggers. They find search triggers instead of like cheat out triggers, which is really dank for us. And so I'm like, yeah, we're going to go friggin' 9 into 5. I want you to give me your hand or to take this. And I think they decided to take this here. They do. And then I'm like, heck yeah, we play out Perona. We make it so that Kikinojo and Hogback cannot rest. And then they play out another Hancock, which is so annoying. But they're going to swing in with Moria because they want to heal. They're going to heal once more. But we're going to use the card action to get out of the Boa Hancock swing. And then I think that I counter out of this. Yeah, I have that. And now I'm like, sweet, I have a full board. They have 4 life and only 3 cards in hand. I'm sorry, 3 life. I have to get 4 hits in. So let's do a little bit of math. I'm like, I can at least get 2 cards out of their hand if I swing in 7 here. And then they do the unthinkable. They take. Now they get some sort of trigger and shuffle some stuff around. But I'm like, you still, I'm just going to swing 7. I'm going to swing 7 again. You still only got 3 cards and you took the last time. Again, another trigger. I'm like, what is it this time? It is a play out event. So they play out a Perona, making it so that my carrot cannot attack. But that's okay. Only 4 need to connect. So I got one more that I can miss. I swing in 9 to 5. I'm like, if this goes through, there's a couple options I can do. But I think I'll still try and play it safe. I'll just swing in with Law and then swing in with Mihawk. They get a trigger to play out another character from the trash, but this one just takes a trash character to your hand, and it was a Kumansi, which is a 2K. So 7 into 5, they give me the 2K, they give me a 1K, and I'm like, sweet, I got it. 11 into lead with Mihawk. Good game to my opponent. So final thoughts is that, man, Jewelry Bonnie's just so freaking good. I think she's definitely one of the better ones of the starter decks that you can get. So if you're new to the game, I would suggest Jewelry Bonnie. Her leader ability is strong enough that you can just kind of play whatever cards are best in green and get away with it. The Supernova package in particular is just so strong with Cavendish, with the Bounce Law, with the Secret Bonnies. Your 5-cost slot is just so cracked that you can get to the late game pretty easily, and then you just start slamming down these big bodies and they can't deal with it. So that's, I mean, Jewelry Bonnie is probably the best starter deck you could get. And she's fun to play. But she's not necessarily my playstyle. I prefer a bit more aggression, a bit more gambling. You know, it's not bad. Very skill. The skill ceiling is extremely high with this deck, but the floor is also really low. So I feel like it's a perfect deck to sink a lot of time into and actually get really good at. Thank you so much for watching the video this long. I appreciate you. Big shouts out to you. The next one, I mean, Blue Yellow Nami is coming. I swear to goodness it's gonna come, but I wanted to get this video out because I just saw this list and I thought it would be very interesting to try. But that's about all I got. Make sure that you sell your alt arts when you can because the market is crazy. And remember to swing tall. Oh, and also good luck with your pre-release. I will let you know how mine goes with some sort of vlog after the fact. Alrighty, deuces.